So then guys, I have got right here the finalized designs for the new iPhone 17 Pro Max and also the iPhone 17 Air. These are the exact designs we are going to be getting, and this is what case manufacturers are basing their actual cases on these actual designs that you've got right here. And today what I want to do is I want to do a close-up of these two designs right here and compare them to say the likes of the iPhone 16 Pro Max and also the likes of the iPhone 16. So without further ado, let me get my camera over the table and let's take a closer look at these designs. So then we have the iPhones out right here. We have the likes of the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the iPhone 17 Air, and then also the iPhone 16 normal. So I think one of the big things that you guys want to know straight away is obviously the Air. How much thinner is this than say a normal iPhone 16? So just to show you guys here, this is the new iPhone 17 Air. And in comparison, you can actually see that obviously it is a bit bigger than what we have with a normal iPhone sort of 16. So this is going to be around about a 6.6 inch display, what we're going to actually get on here. So yeah, this is going to definitely be a bit big. Obviously this is a dummy sort of unit, so you can see my fingerprints and everything, but yeah, you get the idea. It is definitely going to be a bigger display, but you can see how the cameras are very, very different here on the actual back, where we've got this kind of bar at the top. I'm sure Apple are going to give that a name, knowing them. Then obviously the flash and the microphones be moved to the side up here. In comparison, where we've got the microphone here and the flash here, it's all been shifted to one side. This bit here is completely bare in the middle. So yeah, that definitely looks it. But then the thing that you guys want to know is how thick this is. It is super thin. And obviously I actually have measured this. I don't have a tape measure here, but you're gonna have to believe me, it is 5.5 millimeters thick. That is how thick this is. And the actual buttons, well, they are a little bit more slimmer. Can you actually see that there? Can you see they're a bit more slimmer here on the Air? It literally is like an iPhone 16 just being pressed down and obviously stretched out a little bit there with its actual size. And obviously one other big thing is it's going to be completely eSIM now. Obviously I've got a SIM card slot here because I'm in Europe, or as it were, I've got a UK phone, so we still got a physical SIM card here, but the new iPhone 17 Air or Slim, whatever it's going to be called, is completely SIM-free around the world. So it's going to be completely eSIM on that. I know you guys in the US won't matter you too much on that one. But then just looking at the bottom, the drill holes are even different here. They're a bit smaller and everything. And then also the actual USB-C is slightly off course, I'd say, slightly. It's not directly in the middle, just ever so slightly off. Not much in it there whatsoever. But like I said, in the actual, if I just put this above here, you can see the actual thickness difference there. This is definitely a thinner iPhone. It is way thinner than an iPhone 16. I'm just going to show you here the iPhone 16 Pro Max and just compare it to you there. You can again see how much more thinner this really is. You know, if I put it on top, if I can do that, there we go, look at that. That is super thin in comparison to say the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm just going to pick up the new iPhone 17 Pro Max just to show you the differences there. Can you see the difference there, how much thickness it is? And then again, just to show you what it will look like, it is going to be super thin. We're talking, yeah, definitely 1/3 thinner at the very least here. So this is definitely super interesting to see what Apple have done here. But what I would say is the camera does stick out a fair bit more. Have a look here to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Can you see that the cameras are sticking out here, the one single camera? I guess in that sensor and that lens, obviously, as much as they want to make the phone thinner, it's, you know, you can't make that much more thinner. So yeah, it does stick out quite a bit more, probably about as much as what it would do on, say, an iPhone sort of 17 Pro Max on that one. So yeah, it's quite interesting to actually see there. But let's have a look then at the iPhone 17 Pro Max next of all. So obviously I think the biggest change is this right here. This is the actual main sort of design. It's kind of a bar at the top here. And obviously again, the same thing, the LiDAR sensor, the microphone and the flash has all been moved to one side compared to say what you had on the iPhone 16 Pro Max and obviously predecessors before that all the way back. You know, it's the iPhone 12 with the LiDAR and the microphone and the actual flash. It's completely moved over. But really, to be honest, like the camera setup is exactly the same here, not that much different there. I don't know if it's just an illusion to me, but it does look like that this camera lens here is a little more spaced out than what we have on this phone. I don't know if it's just my eyes. I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe slightly out. I don't know. Maybe there's bigger sensors inside. We'll have to see. But really, everything else in design kind of language is exactly the same sort of idea here. We do have the drill holes a little bit different underneath. We still got USB-C, but apart from that, everything else, all the usual kind of buttons. If I flip this around, can you see there? We actually got here. They're exactly in the same places. And flipping around to the other side, obviously, like I said, this has got a SIM card slot in this one, because obviously this one's from the UK, and then obviously same sort of idea here. But you get the idea, the actual buttons are exactly the same. And then for thickness wise, well, you can actually see here, if I just put it on top, that we are literally probably about neck and neck here. We're not much in it whatsoever. We're literally identical in thickness here. If I kind of do this to you guys, can you see that? I can't really tell the thickness kind of difference here. There's not much in it. Put them side by side if I can there. Obviously, I have got a screen protector on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, but yeah, I can't really see there's much difference here in the actual thickness. I think they're basically exactly the same. So this whole idea that we might be getting a slightly thicker iPhone 17 Pro model, maybe by 0.1 millimeters, but not much more if it is. I can't see it to the naked eye really. There's not much difference, but there again, like I said, that is the main kind of sort of differences there. And like I said, these are going to be the two new iPhones, and how they're looking right now, this is the finalized design. This is what people are going to be using to actually make phone cases for on these phones. And with those close-ups complete, I also want to tell you about 3 of my favorite upgrades we're going to get for both of these phones. But just before that, quick words from today's sponsor. So then guys, just quickly, I want to tell you about today's sponsor from UGREEN. And this is where UGREEN have helped me out with these 2 products that you can see right here. We have here the UGREEN FineTrack Smart Finder, and we've also got the UGREEN FineTrack Slim Smart Finder. So when I recently went over to New York, I actually put this tracker here inside of my main case so I could keep an eye on it where it was. And as you can see, like right here at the airport, I could see exactly where it was and making sure that it was going to get on board the same plane as me. And then when I landed into New York, I could actually see it actually arrived with me, what was really, really great news to hear. Using the likes of the Find Me app, what Apple actually provide on iOS. Now, the great thing about the tag to start with is it's actually got a 2-year battery life inside of it. And the great thing with that is that the key tag is also UL 42000A certified. So this means it helps preventing kids from openings up, taking the battery out and swallowing and all of that sort of nasty stuff there. It helps preventing from that happening. And then there's also an 80 decibel alarm inside of this. So this means you can easily find your tag if it's nearby to you. And the great thing about that is, like I said, you can check out exactly where the tag is by using the Find Me app, what I absolutely love. But then also the slim card tag, what we have right here, is also really great. You can also charge it up as well with its built-in 155 milliamp battery, what can last up to 1 year on a single charge. And then the great thing is the actual battery life is guaranteed for 10 years inside of this, what's amazing. This also has an 80 decibel alarm built into it, and all of those other sort of features what I mentioned with the other tag, so tracking it with precision and things like this is also available in this. And like I said, you can easily slot this into your wallet. And if you want to check out the UGREEN FineTrack Smart Finders, both of these tags here, well, all the details are in the description of this video right now. So do check them out because these are absolutely fantastic. So check them out, like I said, in the description right now. So with this then, there are 3 upgrades that are going to be happening for both of these phones that I am super excited about. Now, the first one is all to do with RAM amounts. Now, more than likely, we're going to get an A19 put inside of the Air, and then we're also going to get put inside of the new iPhone 17 Pro Max. We're going to get the A19 Pro. Now, both these phones more than likely are going to get 12 gigabytes of RAM, and this is going to be absolutely amazing to hear. As you can see from from this leak right here. This has been up from the 8 gigabytes that we've had in the past, and the great news is this puts it on par with many other kind of rivals out there who have in their flagships 12 gigabytes of RAM. This is going to be really, really good to have, especially that we've got that new iOS 26 now with that liquid glass and everything. Everything's going to feel buttery smooth there. And talk about buttery smooth, something else that's going to be amazing for the first time ever on a non-Pro iPhone. So we've got the likes of the iPhone 17 Air and also the normal iPhone 17. We're actually going to get a 120 Hz refresh rate at last built into the display. This is something we've been wanting for ages, and it looks like, according to this, that we are definitely going to be getting that now. We are going to be getting 120 Hz, a kind of Pro Motion type of display across all of the iPhones, and this is fantastic news to hear that Apple have finally decided to do this. And then the third upgrade I'm quite excited to hear about is to do with cameras. Now obviously we are going to get a 48 megapixel on the rear of this one, and all three of the cameras on the back of this are going to be 48 megapixel, but something that's going to be shared across both of these phones is actually the front camera, and that is going to get a 24 megapixel camera installed on the very front. And this is really great news to hear, because this is going to be the first time we've actually had that front-facing camera upgraded ever since the iPhone 14 Pro range with that 12 megapixel that was put in dynamic island. This is going to be upgraded across all of the iPhones range this time round. This is something I'm excited for to happen to all of the iPhones this time. So this is going to be great news to hear. But with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. Are you excited by the designs and how the new iPhones look? Are you looking forward to holding one in person yourself? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.